So there was a poll recently which showed a staggering number of people supporting a united Ireland. We're seeing 66%, I believe, in the north of the country. And look, I think this poll it can be scrutinized. Like, I think we're headed in that direction, but I don't believe it's this large majority as of now. And you don't know the way UK voters will come in, but I guess the UK is kind of fucked anyway. And all I've seen is excitement, regardless of where you are on the political spectrum, regardless of which side you're on, really. Even among some Protestants, I've seen a bit of excitement, and I've seen, unionism's dying, the monarchy's dying, the support for a separate Ireland is dying. And in many ways, my younger self would have been excited by this, and there's a part of me that still is. But I've told people for a very long time, my worst nightmare is a united Ireland. My worst nightmare I could possibly have at this moment is a transition from a nation state in the south to a united country, including the north. And look, I'm from the north. I spent a good bit of my childhood there, but then obviously lost the accent a bit and went to study in America. And so I'm not as on the ground as some people are. But I still am from here. I was still born in Antrim. And really during the time, like before a lot of these developments, where it was kind of just after the Troubles, but similar to the way it's always been. And so I have and I've never had this till I was much older, like a unique North of Ireland connection. And I didn't feel that way until I moved to Dublin, because I always had a hero worship for anything Republican, anything the south of Ireland. As many Catholics in the north do, it's like this hero worship for them. But then you go down and it's a bit like, well, it's disappointing to meet your dad sometimes. And you go down and you see, actually, people here are not thankful. People here do not really exude the culture as much. People here do not have as much a connection. I'm just referring mostly to the big cities like Dublin. And I think if you go to the rural areas, there is a lot of commonality between north and south, but there still is a unique northern feel. And I've told people very consistently, that a united Ireland should not happen with this current government. It's too much to give them. It's like if you have a kid who is horrible, as in he beats up other kids, he does things he's not supposed to do, and he's just way out of control, never listens to you at all. And it's like saying to him, you know what, we're going to give you an early birthday. We're going to give you a 6.5 birthday, and it's going to be the best thing ever. We're going to invite all your friends, and we will jump in the bouncy castle with you. We'll be there every step of the way. And that sounds to me like it is a fucking disaster. And what I think as well is that there cannot be a political union that does not address the cultural tenets here. There cannot be a political union, and that's the mad dog danger that's going on here. That truly is, which is Irish identity is going from a cultural facsimile to a political stance. And not only that, but an international political stance. And I believe that has absolutely consumed the South. They have different material conditions, obviously, and incentives that have led them to have their own EU country. And in the North, it's worship of the South, and then the struggle we had through all the Troubles, the Good Friday Agreement, Bobby Sands, all of that. And all that does for us is gives us a seat at the fucking table in terms of nationalist discussions, and sometimes not even that amount. And it is sad to me, because people in Northern Ireland are so talented, they're so capable, they're so hardworking, they're so honest, but they're not politically fucking savvy. And that makes sense to me, because we don't have a ton of representation here in the north politically, really on either side. And we're very much kind of closed in. I think the people from Northern Ireland who have left have a lot more knowledge of that country. Well, not really the country, kind of the what it's called now. I don't think it's its own country. And so that's really the concern in a nutshell. I think there are hundreds of reasons why it's a bad idea, and they all go under that. If you see a united Ireland, here's what you'll see. You'll see mass division. You'll see enormous stagnation. You'll see the entire population kind of feeling backstabbed at some point, and that's going to lead to serious economic upheaval. It's going to lead to pretty much it's gonna turn Ireland into a Catalonia thing or a Kosovo thing, and we've done so much to stop that. And do we really want to risk it for this government, which is voting to make abortion something you can get by asking nicely? This government that has done absolutely fucking nothing to address people wanting to buy homes and have a family in those homes, and yet will give that to fucking refugees from across the side of Europe. Do we really want to give it to this government that has basically spent less time with us than they have in Brussels and the EU? And look, this isn't a left-right thing. This isn't a spectrum thing. That's the fucking problem. That's the problem in of itself. And that is why we cannot have a united Ireland. That is why this is not the time for that. We need to fix our own fucking country first before we can even approach that. Before we can even get more. Think about it. It's like the marshmallow test. It's like, give us a few years, just to give us time. Just ignore us. Just close us from the rest of the world. Just give us time and we'll be fine. And then you can have a different country. Then we can get more than Northern Ireland. We can get Scotland. We can get certainly the Isle of Man. England's probably going to collapse. You can probably get fucking Brittany. No, that's in France. We can get, what's the one called at the edge? Cornwall. That's a hard one to remember. We'll get Cornwall. And so I've gone a bit silly with it, but I do think the larger point for me really is a political union is no answer for a cultural issue that we're having. And now is not the time for this. Thank you for your attention.